FPL Game Week 13 transfer targets. Today we'll be going through my favourite transfer targets for Game Week 13 in the verified power ranking, my top 5 for the next 5, as well as a wildcard draft if you're making fresh, even though I doubt you still have it. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you smash that like button and hit that subscribe. Let's get into it. What's up? It's FPL Vert, where eyes go green, or we try to make them green because of a captaincy fail that I'll get into in GW13 selection. But today we'll be going through the Vert verified power ranking for all the positions, and starting with the goalkeepers. I've actually got Verbruggen at number 1. On my own wildcard, I actually brought in Sanchez, but from what I saw and from what the Chelsea fans have been telling me and tried to warn me, I think I'm going to be ducking out of that straight away, because Brighton actually almost kept a clean sheet away at Bournemouth, and Bournemouth have already defeated Arsenal and Man City at the Vitality, and they almost escaped with a clean sheet if not for a pretty contentious red card. And I just think he's going to make more saves, and he's the more stable goalkeeper, and his fan base don't want him out of the first team. So Verbruggen's going to be number 1 for me. Raya's definitely number 2 if you can afford it, and obviously he is the premium. And as you can see by the expected goals conceded per 90, Arsenal's defense is clear at number 1. It's just, I think it's not worth the extra million, considering that the difference in points will not be as much as compared to what a million can do in other positions. But that's just my opinion. Then you've got Fabianski number 3 because he is now a starting goalkeeper at 4 million. He's kept back-to-back clean sheets, so there's no excuse to not have him in your squad, really. What's Sanchez number 4, just of virtue of the fixtures, but like I said, from what I saw against Leicester, Chelsea completely dominated the game, and he was called into action maybe twice, and he looked very uncomfortable, just from a set piece. He got yellow cards, so he's now got 3 yellow cards, and he could have and should have saved the penalty, so he's in my bad books. And then Onana's number 5 because I think he's a good goalkeeper, and he's actually prevented the most amount of goals in terms of XG this season. But yeah, you're not going to really be paying 5 million for him at the moment. Into the defenders, and of course the top 2 will be Gabriel and Saliba because they're the most secure for minutes. Yes, Timber and Calafiori started, but can we trust that they're going to be starting every game in a hectic Christmas period? Not too sure. But yeah, as mentioned with Raya, Arsenal's expected goals conceded per 90 is 1.02, which is very clear at the top. And of course, they kept their first clean sheet since game week 4, and it's been a long time coming. But yeah, I think with the fixtures that are coming up, it's worth even a double up, if I'm honest. Of course, Raya, you could get Raya as well, but I just think it's better to spend a little bit extra on a defender rather than a goalkeeper. That's just my personal opinion. Of course, Saliba got his first bonus point of the season. That's great. And yeah, Gabriel does have a higher expected goals involvement per 90 than Saliba. And of course, he has previously scored more goals. But one thing to mention is Merino seems to be the target at the moment. Timber scored from an offside position against Nottingham Forest, but it was actually Merino that was the target and would have gotten the assist had it not been ruled offside. So one thing to notice, but yeah, Gabriel's still a great pick, of course. Nuri comes in at number 3. Yeah, he didn't keep a clean sheet or get any returns, but with the fixtures that Wolves have for the next 5 especially, because their fixtures do turn in game 18, you just have to go for Nuri. He's just so exciting. He gets into great positions, and you want your defender to be in those positions, really. And it doesn't really come up on expected goals involvement either. Number 4 is Van Heck, just because of value. As I mentioned, Verbruggen and Brighton have great fixtures coming up. Van Heck probably won't get you an attacking return, but he's probably just like a nice, safe budget option. And Porro comes at number 5 after I sold him personally. Of course, he goes to the Champions ground and scores 14 points. What can you do? I wouldn't really recommend getting him in at the moment because 1, Spurs are just so inconsistent, and 2, the fixtures aren't the best in a pre-congested period. So, but yeah, he did do very well, so he gets on the list. Into the midfielders, and Mohamed Salah just continues to return. He's now averaging 10 points per match, which is incredible, really. Let's see how long he can keep it up. Yeah, of course, Liverpool do not have the best fixtures coming up, but he is by far the most informed player in the entire league, and he has to stay at number 1 for me. Probably everyone's going to be everyone's captain. Let me know who you're going to captain this week in Game Week 13. Saka comes in at number 2 because Of course, yeah, he did haul, but his overall performance as well, with Erdgaard back in the side, you can just see it's night and day. And with the upcoming fixtures, I think, you just need to jump onto him as soon as possible. He has already risen, as has Salah. But I think, West Ham away, United at home. United at home, obviously, historically is a difficult fixture, but we just saw Ipswich, get more XG, have more big chances, and I think, you're not going to be worried about playing an Arsenal attacker against a United defence, respectfully. Palmer comes in at number 3 because he has long-term fixtures and, we know what he's capable of. Of course, he has been a bit quiet recently, but I doubt that's going to last for too long. You can just tell by, his underlying metrics, his expected goals involvement per 90. He's very much involved in the team. Rodgers is not here just because we're going to need a budget enabler somewhere, and he's going to be playing. He might not start every game, he might not get 90 minutes every game, but with the fixtures that Villa have, it's a worthwhile investment. And Bowen comes in at number 5 just because I was pretty impressed by what I saw of him in the win away at Newcastle, and I think a lot of people are going to need like a Brian Mbeumo replacement. Me personally, I might need a Bruno Fernandes replacement, and it might be Bowen at 7.4 million. And we know that he just ticks on very nicely, and he's just a great asset. He's a very reliable asset. Of course, he's on penalties, plays 90 minutes as well. Well, he's on penalties when Paqueta's not on the pitch, I think, but he's still a great pick. Into the forwards, the most exciting position at the moment for sure, with so many options, especially with everyone dropping Erling Haaland. So please drop him if you haven't already. We could go back for gameweek 18, 19 maybe, but at the moment it's just a no for me anyway. Number 1 has to be Matheus Cunha. He is my number 1 forward at the moment for sure. He's just a gorgeous footballer. He's spectacular. He's incredible. He can do anything he wants on the pitch. Can you tell I'm excited? He's just incredible. If you haven't seen his goals against Fulham, please do. The first goal, he collects a pass from the halfway line over the shoulder, brings it down and finishes with aplomb. The second goal is just, Wolves are advancing. He receives a pass from outside the box and first time finishes it into the top right corner past Leno. And then of course his assist as well. The thing about Cunha is he's just an all-round threat. He has so many routes to penalties, he takes set pieces as well. And yes, he has not got the best underlying numbers, but he's very much an eye test asset. So trust me on this one, Cunha number 1 for sure. Joao Pedro could be number 1 too as well, maybe on value, but I don't think his minutes are as secure. Obviously he's coming back from injury. Probably would have played a bit longer than he did on Saturday if not for the red card, but Brighton, he is definitely going to be starting every game. It's just I don't think his minutes are as good as Cunha's. But again, both very cheap options, sub 7 million forwards. Erling Haaland is more than double than that, so there's no excuse to have both of them really. And Jackson would be number 3 just because he is just he's on really great form. He's actually one of the best away day performers apart from Salah in the league. In fact, he's only got 2 goals at home, which is quite interesting. But he's got 5 goals away, which is not a problem at all, is it really? But he does have 4 yellows, so make sure you're very aware of that. Isak would probably be over him if he had scored one of his many chances. He put up 0.71 XG yesterday against West Ham at home. Probably should have scored. Yeah, it's not really a problem, really. No one's going to score every single game. He has got long-term fixtures as well. I think between game week 18 and game week 20, Newcastle's fixtures are a bit wobbly, but outside of that, they're fine. And Watkins is a great option too. It's just I think the price is a bit too steep for me, given what he offers. So this is what my game week 13 wildcard draft would look like if I was making it completely fresh. We would have Verbruggen in goal, double up on Arsenal defence in Saliba and Gabriel, 8 Nuri because you just need to have him for these fixtures before they turn in game week 18 technically. Then the power big 3 midfield. In this draft we actually have Rodgers starting. Of course that would not be optimal, of course, but I think you do want Bowen for the long term, well at least the short to mid long term, and there's no one else really better, and Rodgers is a great enabler to enable everything else. And of course, yeah, as I mentioned, my favourite top 3 forwards at the moment are certainly Joao Pedro, Nick Jackson and Cunha. And of course, in this setup, you have Rodgers who can rotate in and provides pretty decent backup in case something happens like a Jackson yellow maybe. And I hope that happens in this game so that all his owners miss the Southampton game. Sorry guys. And of course Fabianski on the bench along with Hall because he's just great value, as is O'Shea. So that's what it would look like. I hope this has helped you with your next transfers. We will be reviewing my team and the plans going forward as well in the video, so make sure you subscribe for that. Leave any questions you have in the comments. and I'll reply to all of them. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video and speak to you soon.